What's going on, gang? How y'all doing out there? So I got asked, what did I think about Al Chapo getting a 30 to life bid and having to pay 12.5 billion? It's a joke. Um, this cat used to escape from prison, like you watch Clint Eastwood escape from Alcatraz. This cat had all kinds of side ways of getting out, fire poles, sliding down, rolling around like he was at the fire department. You know, um, he slide, go down poles left and right, like it wasn't nothing to it. He always had an escape plan. My thing is usually like this. When they supposedly quote unquote catch somebody or whatever, it's a few things come to mind. The old mafia dudes always say it's because they old and they can't bring in no new money. They owe money. That's usually what it is. I ain't gonna never condone no drug dealing or any of that. It's a way of life. It's enterprising, and I understand that. However, it destroys communities. However, however, the government is kidding themselves. They trying to fool people. El Chapo got over here either with J.P. Morgan cargo or somebody's boat, and somebody, because you have spies here, you have people here in the states that knowingly knew it, allowed it to come in and do it. Okay, with the guns and the drugs. Okay. And to me, it was fashionable and cool as long as it was eating up the black community. Oh, yeah, let's not kid ourselves because it's targeted in the hoods. It's targeted there. It's not by accident. What El Chapo did was no different than Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes doing in Harlem, Blue Magic, and how you ship the drugs through caskets with the Vietnam and the Grays bringing them back. They got through. They got through customs. It was known. It's funny, you go to the airport today, and if your chewing gum is kind of fat like a wire, like if you say you got some Mentos, they're going to like, what's in that compartment? Legally, they could actually ask you that. As crazy as that sounds, right? But some guys got fat wires of coke bagged up, and it's like, well, you ain't see nothing. They get all Scooby Doo, like, oh. If you really think that Al Chapo's the end of the big bad drug dealer infiltrating America and coming through, then I got some real estate for you out back. Give me a break. This cat is just one of many. He has a name, he has some fame, and he has a reputation. However, it ain't hardly over. Because America loves drugs too much, and it's a business, a lucrative business. That's why they're getting on the pot game, and eventually that'll be all legalized everywhere. Well, all the drugs should be legalized because drugs are in food that you eat, and they manifest in different things that you take. You drunk Coca-Cola 100 years ago, they had cocaine in it. So they took it out. So it's part of everything. But he's being used as a poster child like we got the bad guy. He's 64 years old. And I say that again when I use age as this. He's not old in a regular, but he's old in the hustle game. But tell me something. When he was 24, 34, 44, and up to 54, you couldn't lock him for good then? Makes you wonder. And the guy has access and has reputation, and he infiltrated hugely. So you tell me that if you're all about just locking him up into a supermax federal prison, 2 and 3 hours down, limited time, but there will be some form of rivals there at the supermax wherever you take him. But you're gonna tell me that you still want $12.5 billion off of him. You want his filthy drug money. Yes, you do. Because that's how it works over here. And they still want to tax you and make money off of you by any means. Even they get excited, we got him, but yet we want the money. Well, if it was about justice, you wouldn't charge them, you wouldn't want any money about it because that kind of money, where will it go towards? Hmm? And if they were going to take that money and invest it into like drug rehabilitation centers for people on the street who are homeless and who are habitual drug users and have addictions, I can understand it. Knowing them, though, the government would probably make it like a anti El Chapo drug house. Yeah, name it in him, make it as a house where you bring people, you know. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They've done enough damage to the communities and areas. And I use the term with the black neighborhoods because that's where the drugs were infiltrated and legalized by the government to come into the neighborhoods. They weren't doing it in Beverly Hills. They weren't doing it on Park Avenue. Oh, as someone who's been through the United States and lived in various places, let me tell you something. You had cocktail drugs, cocaine, you had the high fluent drugs in these predominantly upscale places. But you didn't have the little stuff, which were the big money added up. And that's where the El Chapo train and plane ride got over in a real way. See? So them putting him away is just, it's almost like a highlight. It's like, well, a highlight reel. He's one of the drug kingpin Hall of Famers and a big name. But there's a bigger fish. It's still the government. And they still have allowed all kinds of drugs. Because the most prominent drug dealers in America wear white coats at your local pharmacy. They keep you drugged up, thugged up, and tied up and make you confused and crazy. Al Chapo was just a figurehead that's on a bigger line of hook and bait. Anyway, feel free to give me your thoughts, your takes. Hit the like and subscribe to my take about the Al Chapo, Third of the Life, and the $12 billion restitution, whatever, and will he escape again? And how they turning this into like a clean to escape from Alcatraz and the running joke that is the government against drugs. Through the comments, takes, and when the bell rings, a new video. And I'm out. Peace.